Hello and welcome back, squad. Today we're going to talk about the computer builds that you should be using for your game development. This video is purely my recommendation, and you're more than welcome to tell me your builds in the comments below. Before we get started, I stream on Twitch, where I talk about game design and development, some tips and tricks, and you can see me live and ask all the questions that you would like. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, as we'll be posting more content like this in the future. In this video, we're going to talk about the crucial components, your operation system, your CPU, your GPU, your memory, and your RAM. So, let's start off by talking about Unity's recommendations. So, the Unity requirements is operation system 64-bit, Windows 7 or higher. CPU is 64-bit or x64 architecture. GPU with DX12 capability, which is the NVIDIA GeForce GT 1030 or the AMD Radeon VGA. Unreal's minimum requirements is the operation system is 64-bit, Windows 7 or higher. The CPU is quad-core processor, 2.5 GHz or faster. The NVIDIA 470 GTX or AMD 6870 HD or higher, and the RAM is 8 GB RAM. Here are my recommendations for the Intel builds. Operation system should be using the Windows 10 64-bit. CPU is the i7-8700. The GPU is the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 or higher. RAM is 32 GB or higher. And for your memory, 500 SSD for your operation system only. 4 TB mechanical drive or a 1 or 2 TB SSD for everything else. For my AMD builds, here are my recommendations for the AMD build. Operation system is Windows 10 64-bit. Your CPU is the AMD Ryzen 5 3600. GPU is the Radeon RX 55 XT or better. RAM is 32 GB or higher. And same with the memory, 500 GB SSD for your operations only. 4 TB mechanical drive for everything else, or 1 to 2 TB SSD for everything. So let's talk about why I chose these settings and what you're going to be looking at if you decide to go with something like this. Both of these builds are very low costing, but still extremely performant, and you should be able to do just about any sort of development or even just play games on these builds. Both of these builds are technically gaming builds, what I would recommend for anybody that's wanting to do gaming, but they work really well in the development field for both 2D and 3D large world creation or even small world creation. Both of these builds will be able to give you the most kind of bang for your buck. For the AMD build, you're usually looking at about anywhere from 1500 to 1800, and your AMD build is about the same. As far as 2D development goes, if you're deciding to go the 2D development route or just very low fidelity, low poly type style, then actually going a little above the minimum requirements for the Unity engine or the Unreal engine should be about pretty fine for you. Both of these are kind of tailored to 3D development, as you know, that is pretty much the max that you're going to be doing, and honestly, they're pretty low costing. They're pretty low costing machines. As far as laptops and stuff like that goes, anything above an i5 is going to be optimal. You're going to want to use like an i7. Pretty much is the lowest I would go. I wouldn't really go an i5 or an i3 just because of core processing, because of cores and processing power. And my recommendation for a laptop is actually the Acer Predator Helios 300. It's a very low costing laptop. I think I picked it up for like $1,100 USD when it was on sale, and it's actually a fairly nice little laptop here. It's got RGB, the whole shebang. You can actually do a lot of gaming on this. It's got the 2060 graphics card in it. It's got the 1 TB SSD, 32 GB RAM. It's the 15.5-inch display, and it's just a really nice little laptop. I do recommend that. For Mac users, just kind of be careful if you really heart set on Mac, I would, go with whatever Mac you choose. Like, I personally don't recommend using Macs for game development. It's just my personal preference. There's just a lot that goes into it. OpenGL, Metal, Vulkan, all these different systems. Not every asset is not every asset is usable with one of those. So you're gonna have a little bit more of a headache when trying to use a Mac for development. That's why I personally recommend Intel and just kind of going that route. So let me know your comments down below. Tell me your guys' builds for your computers, and if any games that you guys are currently working on, and what engine you think is better. Um, we'll talk about engines a little bit later in another future video. But other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.